feel very smart right now, Ruben.
Yeah, well, me neither. I never feel smart. Yolanda's always very smart when it comes to weather, though.
Yes, she is.
But we're all smart
We're all
one way or another. You know, that's the good thing. We're smart at some things, right? Well, we're going to need our jackets, and also that light rain will continue, so we're waking up to wet, slippery roads, which means take some extra time this morning. Don't rush, and we're going to see that light rain being at a 50%. Also, those cloudy skies will help our temperatures just stay in the low 40s. Our high should be in the low 40s for today, feeling only like if we're in the low to upper 30s. This morning, it feels like we're in the low 30s, 30, 35 for Zapata, 31 for Falcon Dam, and some in the upper 20s like Freer, 27, 26 for Heavenville, 29 for El Sinal, and 34 for Carrizo Spring. And we're still looking at those rain chances, cloudy skies, our winds blowing from the north up to 9 miles per hour. And keep in mind, it's going to feel like if we're in the 30s. And for today, we're expected to reach a high of 41, and even for tonight, a low of 41. And then for tomorrow, we're going to start to see that change. We're going to start to see a little bit more of that sun. Our highs increasing into the low 60s. But look for Friday and Saturday morning. They're going to be the coldest. We're going to be in the low 40s to upper 30s. And then by the weekend, we're going to see that warming trend for Monday. It is going to be breezy, gusts up to 22 miles per hour, a high of 80 with a low of 61. And then for Tuesday, in the upper 60s. Stay warm. Back to you. Well, hello there. That's why for us this morning, even though we're not looking at those winter conditions, we need to take some extra time. The rain will start to diminish for us this morning as well, but the roads remain wet and slippery. Don't rush. Don't take some time for you this morning. So right now we're looking at a current temperature of 38, cloudy skies. It feels like 33. We need to wear our jackets. Yes, it is going to be another cold day for us, but we're going to get to see some of that sun. I know many of you already want that sun to come out and for that rain to stop. Our winds are blowing from the north up to 7 miles per hour. Our temperatures looking across Texas. So in the Texas Panhandle, they're from the low 20s to the low 30s as well. 35 for San Antonio, 33 for Austin, 32 for Dallas, Houston, 41 even for McAllen, similar temperature, 38 for Corpus Christi, 39 for Brownsville, and for us, we're in the upper 30s. It is going to be cold. We're expected to reach a high in the upper 50s for us here at home, even across South Texas. How does it really feel for us this morning? Some in the upper 30s to low 30s, 31 for Freer, 32 for Heavenville, 36 for Zapata and Falcon Dam, 37 for Cotula, 32 for El Sinal, and also Carrizo Spring in the upper 30s. So we're looking at that light rain mainly throughout the morning hours, and then it should stop. We're going to see some clouds as well, and then that sun will be coming out. It's not going to be warming up our temperatures that much. It's just going to be in the low to upper 50s for us here in South Texas. Those winter weather conditions will continue mainly for the west, north, and all the way into the east, all the way into Dallas. They're going to continue to see that winter weather, but then it should be moving into the southeast. But we also see that Houston is looking at those showers. They're not looking at freezing rain. They're looking at those showers all the way into the east parts, where also Louisiana is seeing that rain, and it's extending all the way into the Virginias. You could see all that winter storm going on as well with those showers. And for us, we're going to be increasing those temperatures into the 50s. Our winds blowing from the north up to 10 miles per hour. And then we do see that around 10 p.m. we're going to be dropping into the upper 40s. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 59, and then once again, we're going to be dropping into the low 40s. For tomorrow, we're looking at more sun in the low 60s, and then it is going to be a cold night for us for Friday, even waking up into Saturday in the upper 30s, a high of 66 for Saturday with a low of 47. But look, for Sunday all the way into next week, those temperatures would be warming up. For Monday, it will be breezy, gusts up to 22 miles per hour. And then for Tuesday and Wednesday, we start to see those slight chances of rain. And also by Wednesday, there's that possibility that we might get another cold front. Have a good
Good morning. Even though that winter weather has gone out of Texas, you know, they're still looking at those icy conditions, mainly in the northern parts of Texas, because they're looking at those freezing temperatures in the 20s. So that would cause those roads once again to freeze up for them during the early morning hours like right now. But let's take a look at our current temperature in the upper 30s. It feels like if we're in the low 30s, yes, it is going to be another cold morning for us, but the good thing is that we're looking at sunny skies for us. Yesterday it was cloudy during the morning, and then later on in the afternoon we got to see some of that sun. Well, today we're going to be completely seeing that sun. That will be helping us only increase our temperatures into the low 60s for us here in South Texas. So our winds right now are blowing from the northwest up to 5 miles per hour. Our visibility, it's at a 5 mile. It's not that bad, But an area that is looking at lots of heavy fog would be Zapata. They're looking at a 3-mile visibility this morning. But how are temperatures looking? As I did mention, mainly in the northern parts of Texas, in the Texas Panhandle, all the way into Dallas, they're looking at those freezing temperatures from the low 20s to low 30s. 33 for San Antonio, 35 for Austin, and then for Houston, all the way down into the deep south, those temperatures are in the 40s. 41 for McAllen, 42 for Houston, and 38 for us here in Laredo. But it really feels like if we're in the low 30s. 32 for Catarina, 33 for Carrizo Spring, 38 for Falcon Dam, 34 for Heavenville, and 32 for Freer. So not much going on for us for today. We're going to continue to see those sunny skies even for this weekend. For this weekend, it's going to start to feel pleasant for us, even though in the mornings and at nights it's still going to be cold. We're going to be in the low 40s and to low 50s. But then for early next week, we're starting to see those chances of rain being at a 20 to a 30%. And by the middle of next week also, there will be a weak cold front moving in, and it would bring pleasant temperatures once again into the 70s. Those showers and thunderstorms are mainly in the southeast all the way into the Carolinas, and in the northeast they're looking at that winter weather going on. Also in the Great Lakes they're looking at that snow. And let's move on to the temperatures. How are they going to be? You could see that for the remainder of the afternoon it is going to be cold. We're going to be in the 50s. It would be later on around 3 p.m. that we're going to hit those 60s. But back to you.
Happy Monday. It is 6:15, and for this week we're looking at a little bit of a change in our temperatures and also rain chances. So for this day, you got to get ready. You got to think about what you're going to be wearing today, your wardrobe, also how you're going to do your hair, because it is going to be a breezy day, gusts up to 28 miles per hour for us. Right now we're looking at a current temperature of 63. Those cloudy skies, our winds are blowing from the south-southeast up to 11 miles per hour, and we do see that our dew points have increased into the low 60s. It is going to be a warm day for us though. So how are temperatures looking for us here in Texas? In the Texas Panhandle, they're in the upper 30s to 40s, 59 for San Antonio, 60 for Austin, and 50 for Dallas, 59 for Houston, 55 for Corpus Christi. For us here at home, all the way into McAllen in the low 60s, 59 for Brownsville. Now a closer look at how it really feels. Well, it does feel like if we're in the 50s and 60s, not much of a change for how it really feels. But look, what is going on for us here in Texas? We do see that some areas are shaded in gray, meaning that there's fog advisories going on mainly from Eagle Pass all the way into Austin. Let's take a closer look at that. So they're going to be, if you're going to be traveling this morning to San Antonio or Austin, you might be seeing this fog as well. For us, we do have a possibility of fog. There was one, but due to these winds that are expected to be up to 24 miles per hour, that will be preventing the fog that we're expected to see this morning. Now what's going on across the nation? We do see that mainly in the west, they're looking at that winter weather. And then for tomorrow, Tuesday, there will be a weak cool front approaching South Texas. It would just be approaching. It would be Wednesday night into Thursday that cold front will be passing across South Texas, bringing drier air, making it pleasant for us. Our highs would be ranging in the 70s and in the upper 60s, and our lows once again will be dropping in the 40s and also in the upper 30s. So we're going to be needing those jackets once again. For today's pollen, tree, grass, and ragweed are low. Mode is high. Don't forget to take your allergy pills. Throughout the day, our temperatures would be in the 70s, and you could see that gusts were all throughout, even for the night, gusts up to 28 miles per hour. We're going to start off cloudy and then partly to mostly sunny. For tonight, those clouds will be increasing. We're expected to reach a high of 82 for today, a low of 64, and then for tomorrow, that 30% chance of rain would be for Tuesday night into early Wednesday, and then we do see that for Wednesday, a high in the upper 60s. Have a good one. Well, good Tuesday morning. It is kind of warm for us. We are in the upper 60s, those cloudy skies, but it's also going to be breezy this morning. Gusts up to 29 miles per hour, and then those winds should be coming down. We're looking at those winds blowing from the south-southeast right now, up to 10 miles per hour. Our dew points are in the low 60s. It is going to be slightly humid, and that's also going to help those chances of rain that are expected for tonight being at a 50%. But how are these temperatures looking for us across Texas? Some in the 70s already, like Corpus Christi and McAllen, 69 for Brownsville, 65 for San Antonio, even for Austin, 60 for Dallas, while in the Texas Panhandle, they're looking at those cold temperatures in the low 30s to low 40s. It is going to be a warm day for us here in South Texas. We're looking at those cloudy skies for us throughout the morning, and then it will become partly sunny. Our highs would be ranging in the mid 70s to low 80s. There are some areas already in Texas looking at those showers, mainly in the Dallas and also in the central parts of Texas, all the way into Oklahoma. And then later on for tonight, severe thunderstorms would be possible, mainly in the northern parts of Texas, like Dallas, Oklahoma, even in Arkansas, where they're looking at lots of heavy rainfall. For us, it would be for tonight that we're looking at those chances of rain being at a 50%. That slight chance would start around 10 p.m. being at a 20% and then increasing into a 50%. Even for tomorrow morning in the early hours, we're looking at those chances of rain, and we might even be hearing some thunder and seeing some of that lightning. And then those showers extend all the way into the Great Lakes, also into the southeast. That winter weather continues mainly in the Four Corners, also in the Seattle area. For us, we're not looking at that winter weather, but how's our pollen looking? So tree is moderate, mode is high, ragweed and grass is low, and this is how our temperatures would be looking. You notice that around 10 p.m. we're looking at that slight chance of rain in the upper 60s. We're expected to reach a high of 81, and even for tomorrow, breezy gusts up to 31 miles per hour. Back to you guys. Well, happy Wednesday. We are waking up to a cold morning. We are in the low 50s. 52 is our current temperature, and those light rain chances continue for us throughout the morning, being at a 20%. But also notice our winds, they're blowing from the north-northwest up to 16 miles per hour. So I would recommend for you to wear your sweater or also a jacket, because it is going to be a windy day, and those winds will continue to be blowing from the north, gusts up to 30 miles per hour for us. So how are temperatures looking across the nation? So in the central states, from the 20s into the 40s, 41 for Oklahoma City, 20 for Bismarck. In the southeast, from the 50s to 60s, 68 for New Orleans, 56 for Memphis. And in Florida, they're waking up in the 50s and some in the 70s, 73 for Miami, 57 for Orlando, while in the northeast, from the 40s to 30s, 39 for New York, and also 45 for DC. In California, from the 40s as well, all the way into Seattle, 40 for Seattle, 45 for San Francisco, and 49 for Los Angeles. Dallas in the upper 40s, 71 for Houston. A closer look at our viewing area. How are we waking up for us? So some are in the 50s and well in the low to upper 50s, 56 for Falcon Dam, 52 for Cotula, even for Pure Heavenville, and also for us here at home, even for El Sinal, 50 for Carrizo Springs. So we're having that cold front move in through our area. That's why we're looking at this drop in our temperatures as well. For today, we're looking at those cloudy skies, and also due to that light rain that continues throughout the morning, our temperatures aren't expected to rise that much. Our highs would be in the 60s, in the mid to upper 60s for us here in South Texas. And we do see that those showers and thunderstorms that are heavy are mainly in the northern and eastern parts of Texas. These severe thunderstorms would be mainly moving into the southeast and also in the east portions of Texas. We do see that there's that wind advisory going on, but a closer look at our viewing area. How is it looking? So we're looking at those scattered showers for us, and they should be disappearing later on as well throughout the morning hours. And we're looking at those cloudy skies and a pleasant day as well. So those showers and thunderstorms would be moving into the southeast, moving all the way into the New York area as well, where we're going to be seeing these showers and thunderstorms. For us, we're going to be in the 60s. Notice that those winds will continue for us all the way throughout the afternoon, and then in the evening hours, those winds will be blowing from the north up to 7 miles per hour. Around 10 p.m., we're going to be in the upper 60s. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 69 with a low of 46. And then for tomorrow in the morning, yes, it's going to be a cold morning, but due to those sunny skies, our highs would be increasing into the upper 70s, a low of 47. And then for Friday morning, we're having another cold front move in, and then look, it will be dropping our highs and also our lows. Look, for Friday, a low of 36, meaning that for Saturday, it is going to be a cold one for us. Back to 4 for Carrizo Spring, 40 for Cotula, 49 for Heavenville, and for Zapata and Falcon Dam, similar temperature, 52, 43 for El Sinal. For today, it is going to be very pleasant. We're expected to reach a high in the upper 70s, those sunny skies. Wear your caps and your sunglasses. But we do see that those showers and thunderstorms are mainly in the Great Lakes. They're looking at that winter weather as well, with the mixture of precipitation, lots of heavy rainfall going on, but also in the southeast areas like Louisiana and Alabama, even in the Florida Panhandle, they're looking at those showers and thunderstorms with lots of heavy rainfall, so flooding could be possible for them as well. For us, we're not looking at rain chances for today. Our temperature should be increasing into the 70s. Our winds blowing from the south-southeast up to 8 miles per hour. Around 10 p.m., we're going to be in the low 60s. But for tonight, there will be a cold front moving in into Friday morning. And look, the change for tomorrow. It is going to be windy gusts up to 31 miles per hour. In the low 60s, it is going to be way cooler for us for tomorrow. A low of 37 for Friday night into Saturday morning. It is going to be very chilly. For Saturday, we're going to be in the low 60s, 43, and then for Sunday, those temperatures start to increase into the 70s. But then for Monday night, once again, into Tuesday, there will be another cold front moving in, but it's not going to do much of a change to our highs. We're going to be in the 70s. For Wednesday, we're going to be back into the low 80s. We're looking at an up and down in our temperatures. Back to you guys. Throughout the day, so they're going to be in the 70s, and also we do see that in the morning hours, those winds won't be picking up until 10 a.m. So around 10 a.m., you're going to notice those winds to pick up with gusts up to 30 miles per hour, and they will continue for tonight. Around 10 p.m., we're looking at those cloudy skies in the upper 60s. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 79 and a low of 59. And then, as I mentioned, tomorrow, sunny and warm, a high in the low 80s. And then for Wednesday night into Thursday, we're having that cold front move in, and that's the one that's going to do that major change to our highs in the low 60s. And also for Thursday, windy conditions, gusts up to 33 miles per hour. And then for Thursday, we continue to see those low 60s. For Saturday, that big parade that we're going to be having in the morning hours, our temperatures would be in the 40s, but it's really going to feel like if we're in the upper 30s, and then a high of 67 with a low of 52. And then for Sunday, we start to see those temperatures go back into the 80s. Have a good one, and back to you. Well, good morning and happy Valentine's Day. Well, right now we're looking at a current temperature of 62, and also it is going to be sunny and warm with breezy conditions, gusts up to 23 miles per hour. Our winds are blowing from the south-southeast up to 13. Our temperatures looking across the U.S., so some are in the 30s, like in the central states, all the way into the 50s. 50 for Oklahoma City, 32 for Bismarck. In the west, they're looking at those temperatures in the 40s to 50s. 54 for Los Angeles, 33 for Seattle, and in Texas, they're waking up into the low 50s, and some in the upper 60s, like Houston, 67, 54 for Dallas, and in the southeast, from the 50s all the way into the 40s, 43 for Atlanta, 53 for Memphis. In Florida, in the 50s, 50 for Orlando, 59 for Miami, and in the northeast, in the upper 30s as well, 38 for DC, 39 for Boston. We're not going to see much of a change in our temperatures. There will be a cool front moving in. It's not going to drop our temperatures, as I mentioned, but it's going to bring breezy conditions and also dry. Our dew point should be dropping into the 20s. 60 for our viewing area, 67 for Cotula, 61 for Heavenbow, and 63 for Falcon Dam. There are some advisories going on mainly in northern, western, and central parts of Texas, and those are red flag warnings mainly going on, and also wind advisory. For us on Thursday, there will be a cold front moving in, and that's the one that's going to make a major change in our temperatures, dropping our highs into the low 60s, also bringing dry conditions with gusts up to 32 miles per hour for Thursday. So for Thursday, we might be seeing that elevated fire weather conditions for us here in South Texas. Those showers and thunderstorms are extending from the northern eastern parts of Texas all the way into the central states, while in the west, they're looking at that winter weather all the way into Seattle. So if you had plans for today for Valentine's, so this morning we're going to be in the 60s, and then later on in the afternoon we're also going to see those winds pick up with gusts up to 22 miles per hour. And then for tonight, those winds will be coming down, blowing from the southeast up to 9, and we are going to be in the low 60s. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 84 with a low of 59, but look for tomorrow. It is going to be feeling like summer. A high of 90 with a low of 57, and then for Wednesday night into Thursday, that cold front would be moving in, bringing us up to 33 miles per hour. A high of 68 for Thursday with a low of 43. Back to you. Well, happy Wednesday for us. We're not looking at breezy nor windy conditions that would start for tonight into tomorrow. Grab onto your hats, gusts up to 33 miles per hour, and that would be due to a cold front that would be moving in tonight. But for today, it's the return of summer for us, where highs would be ranging for us here in South Texas near that 90 or getting to that 90. This morning, we are in the low 60s. It's cool. We're looking at those cloudy skies and then also some of that sun that would be warming up our temperatures. Our winds are blowing from the southeast up to 16 miles per hour. And we do see that our dew points are in the low 60s, so it is slightly humid. You might be seeing some haze as well this morning, but it shouldn't be affecting your early commutes. But how are temperatures looking across the U.S.? So in the central states all the way into Oklahoma, 5 for Bismarck, 43 for Oklahoma City, and in Texas, Dallas, 52, 68 for Houston, while in California, they're in the upper 40s, 31 for Seattle. In the southeast, those temperatures are ranging in the 60s to 50s, 55 for Atlanta, 62 for Memphis. And then in Florida, they're waking up in the upper 50s to low 70s, 72 for Miami. In the northeast, from the 30s to 50s, 50 for DC, 37 for Boston. For us this morning, it's not that bad. We're in the low 60s, 57 for Carrizo Springs, 67 for Falcon Dam. But get ready, make sure you wear your sunglasses. Don't forget to apply some sunblock because it's going to be feeling like summer for us here in South Texas. We're expected to reach a high of 91, and also for tonight into Thursday, there will be that cold front that would be moving in, bringing drier conditions and also gusts up to 33 miles per hour, meaning that we're going to be looking at a red flag warning for us for tomorrow, Thursday. This is how temperatures will be looking for us. We're going to be in the 80s, and then for tonight, an increase of clouds around 10 p.m. We're going to be in the low 70s. We're expected to reach a high of 91, and then for tonight, we're going to be dropping into the upper 50s. Get ready for tomorrow. Windy conditions in the upper 60s, a low of 44, and then I know many of you are going to be in the youth parade, so it is going to be a cool night. We're going to be in the 60s from 6 to 9 p.m., and then also those winds won't be that strong. They'll be blowing from the north with 14 miles per hour, and then for Saturday, it is going to be a cold morning. We're going to be in the low 40s. Back to you guys. Well, good Thursday morning. It is going to be a windy day. We're looking at a current temperature of 62. Our dew points have dropped into the 30s. They should be dropping into the 20s. And look at our winds. They're blowing from the north-northwest to 20 miles per hour. And that is due to a cold front that has passed across South Texas this morning, even dropping only our temperatures into the low 60s for us here in South Texas, and some reaching those highs in the 70s. 70 for Houston, 43 for Dallas, and the central states. They're looking at those single digits, also 20s, 29 for Oklahoma City, 9 for Bismarck in California in the upper 30s to low 40s, 44 for Los Angeles, 35 for Seattle, and then in the southeast, those temperatures are in the 70s, but that cold front will be moving into those areas, dropping those temperatures as well. 55 for Atlanta, and then in Florida, they're waking up into the 60s and 70s, 74 for Miami, 64 for Orlando, and in the northeast, from the 50s to 40s, 47 for DC. So these temperatures this morning are in the 50s and 60s, 58 for Catarina, 63 for Zapata. And that cold front has left behind strong winds and also has dropped our relative humidity levels. They're going to be low, so we're under a red flag warning that's in effect already all the way until 12. We have to be extremely careful for today. Do not try to burn trash. Now moving on to what's going on across the nation. So there's some in the central states that winter weather is going on and extending all the way into the Great Lakes. And also tornado watches going on mainly in the southeast all the way into Kentucky and Tennessee, where these severe thunderstorms would be moving into the northeast. We're not looking at showers for today nor for the following days. And then we do see that in the afternoon, that wind will continue with gusts up to 23 miles per hour. And then for tonight, the youth parade will be going on. Those winds will be decreasing, and it's going to be cool for the youth parade. We're going to be in the 60s. By 10 p.m., once again, those winds will be picking up with gusts up to 20, and we're going to be in the low 50s. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 70 with a low of 43. And then for the big parade, we're going to be in the 40s. It is going to be a cold morning for us, and then we're going to be warming up into the afternoon, a high of 65 with a low of 49, and then get ready for next week. It's gonna feel like summer once again. Back to you, Mindy. Happy Friday. The weekend is here for many. We are waking up into the low 40s, feeling like if we're in the upper 30s. You're going to need your jackets for today. It is going to be cold, and also we're starting off with cloudy skies, and then that sun will be moving in on later in the afternoon. Our winds are blowing from the north up to 16 miles per hour. It is going to be a breezy morning, and then later on in the afternoon, those winds will be decreasing. But how are temperatures looking across the U.S.? So no, we're not looking at those temperatures for us here in Texas like the central states. Those single digits, 1 for Omaha, 14 for Bismarck, and then 21 for Oklahoma City. Dallas, they're waking up into the low 30s. 40 for Houston. In the southeast, that cold air is slowly moving in. Memphis, 34, 55 for Atlanta. And in Florida, they're waking up into the 60s and 70s, 75 for Miami. In the northeast, in the 50s. California, they're in the 40s, 49 for LA, 42 for Seattle. So for us for today, as I mentioned, you're going to be needing those jackets. How does it really feel for us this morning? So some it's really feeling like if they're in the upper 20s, like Catarina, 33 for Cotula, even for Fear, 37 for Heavenville, while Zapata and Falcon Dam, it feels like if they're in the 40s, 27 for Carrizo Spring. Not much going on for us for today. We're not looking at rain chances. It is going to be cloudy, and then that sun will be coming out. And then we do see that those showers and thunderstorms are mainly located in the southeast all the way into the northeast. Temperatures would be in the 50s for us. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 59, and this is how pollen is looking. Tree and mold are high, ragweed and grass are moderate. We're going to be in the 50s. Our winds would be blowing from the north up to 10 miles per hour. And then you did see that by 10, we're going to be in the upper 40s today, a high of 59 with a low of 40. It is going to be a cold night for us, even waking up into Saturday. Tomorrow's the WBCA parade. Wear your jackets. It's going to be a cold morning for us. And then later on in the afternoon, it will be warming up into the upper 60s, a low of 49. And then get ready for next week. We're not going to be needing those jackets. We're going to be in the 80s and also reaching those 90s. Good Monday morning. How are we going to start off our day? Well, you want to wear a light jacket. We are in the low 60s. Partly cloudy. Well, we're going to start off with cloudy skies. No chances of rain for us. And then later on in the afternoon, that sun will be coming out, meaning that it is going to be warming up our temperatures. And we also see, look at our dew points, they're increasing. So it is going to be a humid day for us right now. It doesn't feel that humid, but these dew points will be increasing into the low 60s. 64 will be the highest that we'll be seeing our dew point. And our winds right now are blowing from the east-northeast to 3 miles per hour, but those winds will be shifting to south winds, meaning that there's more moisture coming in from the Gulf. So as we head further into the week, we're going to start to feel that humidity like if it's summer once again for us here in South Texas. Our temperatures looking across Texas, so 58 for Dallas. Yes, they need those jackets, but it is going to be warming up for them as well. 63 for Houston, but look, some already in the 70s. 71 for McAllen, 69 for Brownsville, 68 for Corpus Christi in the Texas Panhandle from the 50s to 40, 62 for us here in Laredo. So there are some wind advisories mainly going on for the northern parts of Texas and also from the east into the southeast. There's some showers and thunderstorms mainly affecting Tennessee and Kentucky that will be moving into the northeast. That winter weather will continue mainly for the west and then spread into the central states all the way into the Great Lakes. For us, we're not looking at rain chances. It's only going to start to feel like summer for us for this week. For today's pollen tree is high, mold is high as well, ragweed is low, and grass is moderate. So this is how it's going to be looking. It is going to be cloudy. We're going to be in the 60s, increasing into those 70s. Our winds blowing from the south up to 7 miles per hour. For tonight, clear skies in the 70s. It is going to be a warm night as well and also humid. So for tonight, there's that possibility after 5 a.m. that we're going to be waking up tomorrow, Tuesday, looking at some fog as well, all the way up to 8 a.m. And look for tomorrow in the 90s, even for Wednesday, 95 with a low of 65, meaning that you need to take out that summer clothing. Back to you. Well, happy Tuesday. It is 6:15, and it's going to be another summer day for us here in South Texas, where our highs would be ranging in the 90s. This morning, we are in the mid-60s, 65. Our winds are blowing from the southeast up to 11 miles per hour, and also it is going to be a humid day, but especially for the end of this week, it's going to even feel humid for us. But how are temperatures looking across Texas? So in the Texas Panhandle, from the 40s to 50s, but something we're not looking for us here in the deep south. Brownsville 70, 69 for McAllen, 68 for Corpus Christi, and in San Antonio, it's good. They're in the upper 50s, 62 for Austin, 65 for Dallas, 71 for Houston. So for today, we're looking at some clouds throughout the morning, and then that sun will be coming out, warming up our temperatures, as I mentioned, into the 90s for us here in South Texas. But also this afternoon, gusts up to 20 miles per hour. And then for tonight, you might want to secure those loose objects if you have them outdoors. Make sure you tie them down because gusts up to 36 miles per hour for us for tonight, continuing in tomorrow in the early morning hours. We do see that winter weather is going on mainly in the western parts of the states
extending into the central parts, and this is Winter Storm Olive, named by the Weather Channel, and also would be moving into the northeast. We're not looking at winter weather, we're just looking at summer weather for us for this week, where highs would be ranging in the upper 80s to 90s. No rain chances for us so far, so we're going to be in the 60s and then increasing into the 80s. By 2 p.m. those winds will start to pick up with gusts up to 20 miles per hour. But look at the evening hours. It is going to be mostly clear. Around 10 p.m. we're going to be in the 70s with gusts up to 34 miles per hour. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 91. A low of 66. You even notice our lows. Our lows are going to be in the 60s. Look for Saturday, a high of 91 with a low of 70. It's going to start to feel like summer. Back to you. Well, good Wednesday morning. It is 6:45 and we're looking at a very hot day for us for today, or I would just say hot, because our highs for South Texas are going to be in the upper 90s. We could possibly see breaking record highs for us for today here in Texas. So 67, a few clouds throughout the morning, and then it's going to become mostly sunny. Our winds are blowing from the south up to 11 miles per hour. Yes, our dew points are in the low 60s. They should be dropping into the 50s. But how are temperatures looking across the U.S.? Well, some are looking at those negative degree temperatures like Bismarck and Billings in the central states. Oklahoma 56, 63 for us here in Texas. Dallas 71 for Houston, 67 for us here at home. And then in the southeast, in the 60s, 64 for Atlanta, 69 for New Orleans. In Florida, from the 70s to 60s, 70 for Miami, 63 for Orlando. In the 30s in the northeast, 47 for DC, 37 for Boston. In California, in the 40s all the way into Seattle in the 30s, 36 for Seattle, 49 for LA. So in our viewing area, these temperatures have already warmed up a little bit more. In the 70s already, Cotula, 67 for Falcon Dam, 64 for Zapata, and 63 for Carrizo Spring. So there's going to be a few clouds for us throughout the morning, and then they're going to be clearing up, warming our temperatures. As I mentioned, we could see record-breaking temperatures for us here in Texas, especially reaching those upper 90s. Maybe we could reach that triple-digit. Red flag warnings going on mainly from Del Rio all the way into the west and northern parts. Also, this cold front is producing lots of showers and thunderstorms mainly in the northern and eastern parts of Texas. So that winter weather olive is still occurring mainly in the west, expanding all the way into the central states, even into the Great Lakes, where they're looking at that snow and icy conditions all the way into the northeast. So it's only going to get warmer for us throughout this afternoon. Around 1 p.m. we're going to be in the 90s, and also for tonight it is going to be a warm night. Around 10 p.m. we're going to be in the 70s. Mostly clear skies. Our winds blowing from the southeast up to 11 miles per hour. We're expected to reach a high of 96 with a low of 65. We're going to continue to see these highs in the 90s and 80s for Friday. Mostly cloudy, a high of 87 with a low of 69. But also Saturday through Monday, breezy conditions, gusts up to 23 miles per hour. But look for Saturday, a low of 70, especially for Friday. It is going to be very humid, and then for Monday there will be a weak cool front moving in and dropping our low once again into the mid 50s. Back to you. Good morning, it is 6:45 and the sun is starting to rise. This morning we are in the upper 60s. It is cool, it's not breezy. Our winds are blowing from the south-southeast up to 3 miles per hour. Our dew points are in the low 60s. They should be dropping into the upper 50s. It is going to be a very warm day, and also those dry conditions. How are temperatures looking across the U.S.? So areas that are shaded in purple and in blue, they're looking at those cold temperatures for us here in Texas in the 60s to 70, 71 for Houston, 58 for Dallas. They're looking at that cold temperature. And then in the central states, negative degree temperatures, 10 for Bismarck, 18 for Kansas City, 23 for Oklahoma, and then in California in the 40s, 46 for LA, 28 for Seattle. In the southeast from the 60s to 70s, 72 for New Orleans, 69 for Atlanta. In Florida, they're waking up in the 60s and 70s. In the 30s in the northeast, 34 for Boston, 46 for DC. In our viewing area in the 60s to 70s, 61 for Carrizo Spring, 66 for Falcon Dam, almost reaching that 70, 59 for Heavenville, and 64 for Freer. It is going to be a very warm day for us. Highs for us here in Texas would be ranging in the upper 80s
to low 90s, which is not that bad, right? And it's also going to be partly sunny, not compared to yesterday where we did reach those upper 90s for us here in South Texas. And then there's fog advisories going on mainly for the east parts of Texas, as well for Corpus Christi, Kingsville, all the way into Victoria, all the way up to 10 a.m. So that winter weather continues for the west all the way into the central states, even into the Great Lakes. Showers and thunderstorms mainly from Tennessee all the way into Kentucky. For us, there's no chances of rain for today. We're going to be in the 60s, increasing into those 80s. Our winds blowing from the north up to 13 miles per hour. For tonight, it's going to be mostly cloudy around 10 p.m. in the upper 70s. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 92 with the low of 68. And we're going to continue to see these highs in the 90s and 80s for Saturday through Monday. Breezy conditions. For Monday, there will be a weak front moving in, slightly dropping our low into the upper 50s, and then by Tuesday through Wednesday, back into the 90s. Back to Oh, happy Friday. It is 6:45 and we are in the upper 60s. It is going to be a cooler day for us here in Texas. Right now our winds are blowing from the north-northeast up to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy skies for the rest of our day, but also there's that slight chance being at a 20% of patchy drizzle for us here in South Texas. Our temperatures looking across the U.S. So in the central states, negative degree temperatures, negative 22 for Bismarck, 3 for Omaha, 11 for Kansas City, and also in the west, they're looking at those cold and very chilly temperatures, 23 for Seattle, 46 for Los Angeles, and then also in Texas, 43 for Dallas, and then as we head deeper into Texas in the upper 60s for us here at home, 71 for Houston, and in the southeast, they're also ranging in the 70s to 60s, 69 for Atlanta, 70 for New Orleans, in Florida in the low 60s to low 70s, 72 for Miami, and in the northeast from the 30s to 60s, 60 for DC, 38 for Boston. In our viewing area, some are waking up into the low 60s, while others in the low 70s, 70 for Hebbronville, 72 for Falcon Dam, 70 for Freer, 65 for Cotula, 63 for Carrizo Spring, and Catarina, 65 for El Sinal. But it is going to be a way cooler day for us compared to the days that we had in the beginning of the week, reaching those not those triple digits, but in the upper 90s. For today, we're expected to reach our highs in the low 70s as well, near that 80. It is not going to be a bad day. It won't be that breezy, but then starting this weekend, those winds will be picking up with gusts up to 23 miles per hour. Why are we looking at those cooler temperatures? And that would be due to a cold front that is stalled across the region, bringing those cooler conditions, those cloudy skies, and also those slight chances of rain being at a 20% for today, even for tonight, even for tomorrow in the early morning hours. That winter weather continues to impact areas like California all the way into the Pacific Northwest, even in the central states, and in the southeast and eastern parts of Texas. Those showers and thunderstorms continue for them, extending all the way into Kentucky and Tennessee. This is how it's going to be. We're going to be in the upper 60s, increasing into the 70s. Our winds blowing from the east up to 11 miles per hour. For tonight, cloudy skies around 10 p.m. in the low 60s. We're expected to reach a high of 74 with a low of 64 tonight. And then for tomorrow in the upper 70s, those chances of rain would be early throughout the morning hours. And then a low of 67 for the air show. It is going to be breezy, gusts up to 25 miles per hour, but it's going to be a nice day in the upper 80s, mostly cloudy, a low of 65. And then for next week, those 90s come back again. Back to you. Well, good Monday morning. There's a Pacific cool front passing through South Texas. So this morning it is cool and breezy. It goes up to 22 miles per hour. We are in the upper 60s, clear sky. The sun is starting to rise. Our winds are blowing from the west-northwest up to 10 miles per hour. But for this week, we're starting very warm to hot for us. So there's a triple digit for us by the end of this week as well. How are temperatures looking across the U.S.? So in the central states all the way into the west, very chilly temperatures, 8 for Bismarck, 49 for Oklahoma City. In California, they're waking up into the low to upper 40s, 33 for Seattle. And in Texas, 56 for Dallas, 73 for Houston. For us in the upper 60s, but it's still a cool morning due to that Pacific cool front. And then as we move into the southeast, from the 60s to 70s, 72 for New Orleans, 66 for Memphis, 61 for Atlanta. In Florida, they're waking up into the low to upper 60s, in the 20s to 30s in the northeast. Not much going on for us for today, but it is going to be very warm. In our viewing area, our temperatures are in the 60s, 67 for Freer, even for Heavenville, in the upper 60s for Zapata, 64 for Carrizo Spring, even for Catarina, 66 for Cotula. So we are looking at a mostly sunny day, and also that Pacific cool front is not going to do much to our temperatures, but it's going to be leaving behind dry conditions. No, for today we're not looking at a red flag warning. That would be by Thursday. By Thursday there will be a Pacific cool front, but that one's going to be a little bit stronger, leaving behind cooler conditions for us by the end of this week into early next week as well. But those strong winds and also our dew points will be dropping into the teens, meaning that we could be seeing that red flag warning that's going on mainly in the west and northern parts of Texas for us on Thursday into Friday. Gusts up to 37 miles per hour for Thursday into Friday. Winter weather going on mainly in the west and also in the Great Lakes all the way into the New England area. So it is going to be very warm. Temperatures would be in the 80s. Breezy throughout the morning, gusts up to 22 miles per hour. For today, we're expected to reach a high of 89. And then for tonight, it's going to be slightly cooler, 59. And then for tomorrow in the early morning hours, possible fog for us. And then a high of 95. But look for Thursday, a high of 102. Windy conditions, gusts up to 37 miles per hour. And then that cool front will be leaving behind our lows in the 50s and also our highs in the 70s. Back to you. Well, good Tuesday morning. I did mention yesterday that there was that possibility of some patchy fog, and yes, we're waking up to some areas that are looking at that fog here for us in South Texas. So our current temperature is 66, feels like 66, but when our dew point and our temperature are the same, saturation occurs, so that develops this fog for us that we're going to continue to see throughout the morning. Give yourself some extra time, do not rush. Our winds are blowing from the east-southeast up to 8 miles per hour. What are those areas that are also seeing this fog, and how are they being affected? As you can see, from 1 mile visibility up to 8 mile visibility going on for Catarina and Carrizo Spring, they're not seeing that much of that fog, but we do see that from Falcon down all the way into Cotula. That's where that fog is occurring for us, and just take some extra time. Do not rush in your early commute. So how are temperatures looking for us here in Texas? So in the Texas Panhandle, from the 40s to 30s, 54 for San Antonio, 56 for Austin, 54 Dallas, and then the warm side for us here, as you can see, from Houston all the way down into Brownsville in the 70s, 74 for McAllen, 70 for Houston, 73 for Corpus Christi, and even for Brownsville for us, we are in the upper 60s. It is going to be a warm and humid day for us as well. Our temperatures are going to be warming up into the upper 80s and also into those upper 90s. It is going to be sure a hot one for us as well, but get ready for Wednesday and Thursday. Those are the days we're expected to reach those triple digits. Red flag warnings going on mainly in the Texas Panhandle all the way into the west, and these are some areas that are looking at that fog advisory. As you can see, they're shaded in gray, also in Corpus Christi all the way down into McAllen. For us, we're not looking at that fog advisory, but there's still some fog occurring for us. And then for Wednesday into Thursday, it's when we're expected to reach those triple digits. For Thursday, strong winds with gusts up to 41 miles per hour. Very dry conditions due to a cold front that will be passing by, so elevated fire weather conditions could be possible for us for Thursday into Friday as well. And I just want to show you guys how is our day going to be. Our temperatures would be in the 80s and then increasing into the 90s. As you can see, 7 p.m. we're going to be in the 90s, partly cloudy for us for tonight, and then gusts up to 20 miles per hour. We're expected to reach a high of 96 with a low of 70, and then you do see that for Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to be a hot one. Back to you.